Let's get ready to rumble. No, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along. The usual rules that apply to an online meeting. Can you please mute your microphone when you are not speaking? Otherwise, I will mute it for you, and I might forget to turn you back on again when you do wish to speak. Also, turn off your video if you don't wish to be recorded, because this meeting will be recorded. And in fact, I see by the little flashing light that we are recording as we speak. So if you don't wish to be recorded, then do whatever you like turn off your video or cover your face with a tea towel, whatever suits. But yeah, it will be recorded if you don't. So, along with all of those, now let me pass you over to your host for this morning, this evening, this afternoon, this whatever it is, wherever you are. Michelle Alba-Lim, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Graham. I just love that voice. Yeah, I just needed an excuse. I know we all know the rules about online attendance because we're all very online savvy, but I just wanted an excuse to hear that BBC or ABC voice. There you are, Graham. Look at Brian. Okay, so welcome everyone. And I personally know everyone, but I just already realized that not everybody knows everybody. So let us very, very briefly introduce ourselves by giving our name and the online or blended clubs that we belong to. No need to mention the brick and mortar clubs because I know that we are Toastmasters addicts, so we don't need to mention that. But it's important for us to know the name, of course, and what online or blended clubs we belong to. So let me start by introducing myself. I am Michelle Alba-Lim. I belong to 3 online clubs. That's Witty Storytellers, Global Trainers Online, and Ablaze. And I belong to 4 blended clubs. But other than Royal Roads, who is represented here, which is represented here, no need to mention the other clubs because you probably wouldn't even recognize them. So let us move on. Who would like to introduce himself or herself next? There you are, Graham.
I'll do this to get it out of the way. I'm Graham Cairns. I'm in Brisbane, Australia. I'm a member of Witty Storytellers, of Global Trainers, of Online Presenters, and of DTM Masters, which is a blended club. I am also a member of another 4 clubs in Brisbane, which are aiming towards becoming blended clubs, but I think we're going to give up on a couple of those. Anyway, so that's me.
Thank you, Graham. And yes, Carol.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carol from Australia, and I'm a member of Ablaze, which is a new chartered club this year. Firebirds, of course, which chartered in 2016, and Toastmasters Without Borders, and Witty Storytellers.
Yay, thank you. I just heard Witty Storytellers. Good. So you have officially rejoined and we love having you back. Yes, Rosalind, I think you're the unknown. I think I'm the only one who knows you.
I sure can introduce myself. My name is Rosalind Jansi and I'm a member of multiple clubs. Not all of them are blended or not all of them are online. One of them is Yakina Toastmasters and the other is the Global Trainers Online. And I'm part of many advanced and specialty clubs, and I'm the current program quality director for District 35, which is Wisconsin and Upper Michigan.
Awesome. See, I told you guys, she's this amazing person that you haven't gotten to know yet, but now you do. Brian, because you're next on my screen, you got to unmute yourself.
I'm a member of 5 clubs, 3 purely online. The original, Firebirds Collective, Witty Storytellers, and Global Trainers Online, and a member of 2 blended clubs, one Royal Roads Toastmasters, which most of you know, and the other one is First Canadian Toastmasters Club 38, who you are going to know quite well.
Yes, Brian is so proud of that club. You notice it has 2-digit number. How many clubs have 2-digit club number? That's amazing. Hi, Mathilde. Perfect timing. Since you are the next person on my screen, we are very briefly introducing ourselves with our name and the online or blended clubs that we belong to. So over to you, Mathilde.
Hello, my name is Patricia. I'm coming from Germany. I'm a member of different online clubs, like, for example, Wikibirds, Global Trainers Online, Firebirds, Star Performers, and I'm happy to hear what this is all about here. See you.
Awesome. And I just realized that her video actually came ahead of the audio, I think. She hadn't quite gotten it all settled yet. Did you notice her voice was coming in initially slowly and then it caught up? That was fascinating. Yes, AJ, would you like to take it away?
Hi, I'm Arlene, also known as AJ sometimes, and I belong to one club, Firebirds Collective.
Awesome. And it makes up in quality. I think many of us in the online world look at Firebirds as the model for.
Well, my philosophy is if you really only need one club, if it satisfies all your needs, and it does.
Okay, awesome. Yes, Julie.
I am charter member of 3 online clubs, Firebirds, VT Storytellers, and Global Trainers Online.
And you used to be a member of a blended club. You stayed long enough to give 3 awards to the club, and I still have your triple crown with the Kina Toastmasters. Yes. Okay, let me see. I think we've gone around everyone, and maybe Graham or Brian. Oh, there you are. I was just going to say, let me know if somebody else comes in, and we just have somebody else coming in. Roberto from Italy. Would you like to unmute yourself? Yes. Can you unmute yourself? We just finished the round of brief introductions, giving our name and the online or blended clubs we belong to. So will you do us the honors, please?
Yes, sorry for being late. I attended my club brick and mortar meeting just some moments ago. I am from Fiber Collective Club, and I'm relatively new in this Firebuild Club.
Okay.
I think I don't know if I have to say something else.
That will be fine for now.
And he's a member of Firebirds.
Yes, he said that. He's relatively new, but
yes.
he's a member. Thank you so much, Roberto. Thank you and welcome. And as I was
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes, as I was just saying, if anybody else comes on screen, and I have a feeling that somebody else might have, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so keep an eye out, because once I am speaking for the next 5 to 7 minutes, I might not see the people coming in. Just message them nicely so they don't feel like they're being neglected or ignored. So I will now share my screen. And yes, there we are. Delayed share. There you are. I hope that you're all seeing my screen now, and there you are. So this is the September showcase, the first planning meeting. Welcome, everyone. And we have already done our welcome and introductions. We've already introduced ourselves. And now I would like to give you a brief overview of our agenda. I will share my vision for this project, some quick timelines, action items. Publicity is an action item, but I'd like to cover it specially. We'll talk about steering committee, if anyone wants to volunteer, future events, and other business. So at this point, I would now like to have, I'm also timing myself. I would like to shift over now to my 5 to 7 minute speech, which will be item 1, sharing my vision. So my vision is to promote and publicize online attendance throughout the Toastmasters community and beyond. thus creating greater awareness, interest, and involvement. So this sounds like a mouthful, although each of these aspects is doable or are doable. And for this project, the goals that I envision are to provide opportunities for online clubs and blended clubs, those clubs that are either called hybrid or brick and mortar plus click and click, or as Toastmasters calls them, on-site clubs with online attendance. That's what Toastmasters calls them. So first objective would be to provide opportunities for online clubs and blended clubs to reach out to a wider audience. And how would we do this? Obviously by having, first of all, this week-long showcase of different clubs in their natural environment. In other words, they don't need to change anything. We are just consolidating. We are providing an umbrella, a big opportunity for them to be known outside their usual club promotion. And I am assuming that each of these clubs, for them to exist, are already doing their own promotion and they're creating their own programming and all that good stuff. My second goal, or the project's second goal, would be to create an environment where there's greater interaction amongst online clubs and blended clubs, as evidenced here, except, I believe, for the Trailblazer Royal Roads. Except for Royal Roads, most online clubs don't really know the blended clubs, and even more so, the blended clubs don't know very much of the online clubs. So with this project, I am envisioning that we could create this shared environment where the online clubs and the blended clubs share best practices, communicate with each other, help each other out. And that would lead to the third objective or goal, which is to eliminate or greatly reduce this divide, perceived or real, between online clubs and between on-site clubs, meaning brick and mortar clubs, and online clubs, as well as clubs that allow online attendance. And I believe that this is really more of a perceived divide promulgated by a few individuals, but still very vocal, or as the individual may have said, the squeaking wheel gets the attention or gets the oil. So I would like to eliminate that. What I would like to have is one big group, community, family, global Toastmasters, and that's it. No online, on-site, blended, and all that. And I know it's a little bit, oops, that was borrowed. Sorry, I didn't mean to introduce myself there. That was, I was, as some of you know, I was repurposing the slides, so those last two were just there. I wanted to stop at this point and perhaps open the floor or the room for conversation on how you envision your role in this, or maybe even if you have questions about what we're talking about, and clarifications. So we can go right, just unmute yourself if you have a question or raise your hand.
Yeah, I had a question, Michelle.
Yes.
When we were talking about this online, is your vision to increase the online presence? Is the goal to have more number, like you had the pathways, you started that small, and I know now so many people appreciate that forum where they all can come together and have. So if we have something like this as the online community, I'm sure there will be so many people, because the idea for a brick and mortar club, many times people are traveling and they're not able to attend the club's meetings. They're not able to vote at the club's meeting because there is no quorum. So even if they are able to go from somewhere and be present online, it can fulfill that purpose. So I'm not sure where we are headed, what we are trying to do there. So
yes, thank you. And I actually, that was my second goal, but I felt it was too ambitious, so I took it off. I deleted it. The second goal that I wanted to have in there earlier was to help increase membership amongst online clubs and blended clubs. But I was thinking, come on, don't even go there. But yes, thank you. I do hope that because of this exposure, clubs, especially those that might be struggling, needing more membership, might gain this membership. Thank you so much. Yes, Brian.
Yes.
Could you unmute yourself, please?
I feel strongly that we also should take this showcase and advertise it to non-Toastmasters. This is a great way to introduce Toastmasters to the rest of the world, online world, and see what quality clubs that we have and presentations that we can do and how we can help people.
Yes, I agree. And this sounds, the first two questions all sound like they were staged. But no, this is just a real question. But yes, I perfectly agree with you, Brian. As you will recall from my statement of my vision, it would be to promote this to Toastmasters community and beyond. In other words, no, not just Toastmasters, but spread the word all over the world. Yes. And I just see that Jenny has joined us. Welcome, Jenny. Since anyway, we are having this very informal, I would like to break very quickly and let you and then Christian introduce themselves very briefly. Your name, of course, as we can see, the first name, but also what clubs you belong to. And we just want to hear about the online clubs, not online or blended. Never mind the brick and mortar clubs. Yes, Jenny.
Hi, I have trouble with my computer. I'm in Zoom, but I'm not in Zoom. But anyway, I'm on the iPad now and it's working. So I am a member of Firebirds and I'm a member of Blaze, and I love them both dearly, and I think online clubs are the way to go. I love my brick and mortar clubs, but there's something really super duper about online clubs. I love them. Thank you, Michelle.
Awesome. Thank you. And Christian, would you like to unmute yourself?
Sure, thank you, Michelle. So I'm Christian. I'm from Mauritius. I'm a member of, I think, at least 6 online clubs. Amongst them, there are Firebirds Collective, Royal Roads, Ablaze, and Witty Birds. And I'm currently the VP Education at Royal Roads and the VP Education at Witty Birds. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, if anybody else comes in, we will just interrupt the regular programming and welcome them, because we would be untrue to our mission of having just one big, humongous community if we don't even recognize people as they come in. So Brian had a question. Yes, let's move to Carol's question.
Not a question, just to let people know that I'm taking notes, and I'll pop the link in again if you want to watch that happening.
Yes, and Carol, I don't think, well, maybe Graham comes close, but as far as I'm concerned, Carol is the queen of minutes recording. I don't know how she does it, but she's very good. So I am so happy that she has agreed, or offered, in fact, to take the minutes for this meeting. So we had 2 questions. Is there another question, suggestion, clarification? Yes, Graham.
It's a clarification more than anything else. Physically, what form is this showcase going to take? Are we talking about a YouTube channel? Are we talking about banners on the back of trucks driving around our home cities? We haven't actually discussed the physicality of this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, it sounds like this was a contrived question, because I was going to go there. And so I'm sorry, I was trying to create a slide that would show all of that, but since I'm not there, just look at my hands. So this would be as multi-channeled as possible. The promotion would definitely be on Facebook. It would also be on Eventbrite, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I hear of such fancy things as Twitter and Instagram, which I have accounts, but I don't even know how to use them. So in fact, perhaps we could segue now directly into the steering committees or the action items which need to be covered. And I am those of you who know me, I tend to mind map and merge. So Carol, I know she will follow on along, but I'm talking about the action items, the publicity, and the steering committees, I guess, all in one. Poor Carol. So the action items, obviously, first up would be to determine which are the clubs that would be participating. And Brian has started a Google spreadsheet. Brian, I haven't looked if you've already put in the hourly slots, but that is one of our tools. We will have a Google spreadsheet where the clubs that wish to participate will put in their meeting information, their Zoom or One Call or Ring Central or whatever links, and maybe their agenda theme if they have such a thing for that meeting. And in other words, they will put in their regular information. From that, I will grab that and create Eventbrites for each of the clubs. If you're not familiar with Eventbrite, just very quickly, it is this meeting this meeting event announcer where people go in and register, put their email address and all that. I will create that based on the inputs in the spreadsheet. So garbage in, garbage out. If you give me a wrong link, I will not know. I will pick up that link. Right. I mean, just like, print on demand. And then as far as Facebook, I was hoping Heather could be with us. She's not, but I'm hoping to tap Heather to help me on that. The areas that I'm not so good at are YouTube, Twitter especially, and LinkedIn. I've had a LinkedIn account forever, but I have 3 of them and I need to merge them. So we would need to have a point person to do the promotion and publicity in those areas like LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm looking at Graham. And yes.
Arlene's very good at all those things. No? No?
Yes, she's
No,
very
she's
good.
not.
And she's also
but
traveling.
I'm very good at making posters, but I'm not good at advertising on YouTube or Twitter or that other thing. I do put it on LinkedIn and Facebook, and that's it. I wouldn't even know how to get to the other one.
She doesn't even give it a name.
That one.
I don't think when Arlene took on the position of VP of Public Relations for Firebirds, she even knew how to get on LinkedIn.
Okay.
No, I did have a LinkedIn account. But,
you did.
and by the way, I also already have our poster for that meeting that falls on the 9th.
Awesome.
And
Fabulous. Fabulous. Which actually reminds me, Brian has been telling me, and Arlene as well, Firebirds meets at different times, and there will be another meeting on the 16th. However, just to make it a week long, unless we absolutely want to have 8 days a week, like the Beatles, 8
Why
days
not?
a week, 8 days a week. We're dating ourselves, ladies. The younger people don't know what we're talking about, but there was a Beatles song called 8 Days a Week. We could do that, but right now the plan is from September 9 to September 15. That would be the showcase period, a week long, 9 to 15. Yes, Arlene.
the one on the 9th is on the Eastern Hemisphere, and it usually has less attendance because the bulk of the people live the other way. And like I said, that's humanitarian is the theme for that. But the one on the 16th, I have to tell you, is going to be quite a nice meeting. It's a debate, and we're going to debate money.
Okay, we will have to decide that because well, fine. As I said, we can have an 8-day. We can have an 8-day showcase. It will just change the wording that I already have of week long, because week long is not 8 days. But anyway, we could do that. For now, though, and I'm looking at the time. For now, I would like to focus on who is in this just as like an interested club member or officer, and who would be willing to kind of put a little bit more involvement. I know Brian has already not just said that, but he's already started doing it. and Carol has offered to take the minutes for this one. And knowing Carol, she'll probably also offer to help with other things. Carol is smiling. She will not put, but anybody else who would be willing to actually be on the team to not just have their club participating, but to help with the overall showcase.
Yes, I'm very willing to be on your steering committee if that's what you want.
Yes, and I was kind of hoping that you already put your name down there.
Well,
Carol and I have worked together on other projects, and when Carol says she'll come in, I always feel, yay, good, because she is so good with organizing projects and all that. So thank you, Carol.
well, I'm not sure what I could do, but I'm willing to tell me what to do and I'll do it.
I guess we'll go back to the areas that we would need, and one of them would be promotion. In fact, this whole thing primarily is going to be promotion. As you remember from the vision that I shared, this is really promoting and publicizing. As far as helping each club to have a fabulous meeting, that's an additional thing. My hope, my belief, my assumption would be that the clubs do a fine job on their own already. So when they say, okay, we're in, we want to participate in the showcase, then whatever their program is for that day is as is. Like Arlene mentioned, for the Saturday or the Sunday, the 9th, the 9th, the theme is humanitarian. Now, it may not be as full a meeting, which perhaps could be one of the help that everybody else could give. And that would be to come and show up in that particular meeting or whatever meeting may be scheduled as soon as we get our spreadsheet.
That meeting is a good time for New Zealand. So I could definitely try and push it and say, all of you in New Zealand, it's 7:30 in the evening, come, it's
perfect.
It's easier meeting for them to come to. And I have been trying to do that.
That is wonderful. That would be the kind of help perhaps. Now, would you like to help promote the showcase in New Zealand throughout the week? In other words, we are not just, again, going back to the vision, it's not just promoting our own club. I was going to say our own teeny tiny club, but in some cases the clubs are big. But we're not just promoting our own clubs. We are in there to promote the showcase the entire week or 8 days, as the case may be. So if anybody else wants to be on the publicity team, and I am really hoping that, let me see, who else could we tap there? Yeah. Did you say, was that you, Rosalind?
Yeah. Yes.
See, we read minds. Thank you so much. Because there is a challenge. It's not a problem, it's a challenge that several, I dare say maybe 80% of district leaders do not understand how blended clubs could actually help their districts. They hear the word online and they immediately think, no, competition, these clubs will take away from our districts, we don't like them. I have heard more than once people telling me, oh, we were told by our district leaders we should not be involved with online clubs. And I'm like, that is so sad.
That is sad.
Yes. However,
this would be a good item to even discuss at the international convention with different people. So as a group, when we talk to different people, hey, we have a new kind of a HCL project or something that Michelle is leading that is going to try and increase the online presence of blended. And even in the CGD, if we let the CGD group know that this is an important thing, that you can have blended numbers. And if we give the statistics to them and say, Toastmasters International allows them to have these many people, that would be great.
Thank you. And you can see the timing here now, don't you see? Even if we're all really busy, we scrambled to have it now because yours truly is going to create a little a little card, a postcard 5x3 or something that anybody who is part of the team and will be at the international will be given. There's you, there's me, there's Heather, there's other people. So we will be quietly handing out the cards.
Matilda's going.
Yes, Matilda is going, and you are going, and I believe there will be a number of people. Plus, Carol and I and Brian and Julie and many of us, Christian, we are and Matilda, we are also on this online Pathways Guides team, and I'm sure we can tap some of those who are on that team to help just pass out the cards, because we are helping, we are adding, we're making the pie larger. And because Rosalind, you are in the current district trio, your help sharing this information will be just fabulous. That's why I was so happy to see you come.
Yeah, I would like to add the fact that through the Pathways program, we've proven to Toastmasters International that we can support all those undistricted clubs from around the world, and some of them were in some way out of the way places, as Julie and many of you have those clubs, because
yes,
many of us here are the undistricted Pathways guys.
That's right. Brian, let's not start getting carried away with Pathways, because I know several of us in this room, once you hear the magic word Pathways, we can be here for 3 hours and we would not even have, right? So let's, yes, Jenny, no, it's Arlene. Arlene, yes.
Just one little note that we have 2 other people, Firebirds, that are going to be in Chicago that are part of a trio, and that is Fabiola and Belinda Kent.
Oh wow!
They're both part of a trio. So
wow, we are awesome. Thank you. That is so awesome. And
make sure you give them a stack too.
Who was it? Belinda who?
Belinda Kent.
I would appreciate being connected to her, because I don't think she's on my contacts. And Fabiola, yes. So Fabiola what is Fabiola's role this year? Is she? I think she's on the phone. Okay, so this is wonderful.
Quality Program Director.
Awesome.
The QD, yeah, she's a QD, and Belinda's the first one.
Fabiola, okay, that's wonderful. I was thinking, for some reason, I interchange, and I know it's just my brain. I always have this issue with Fabiola and Brenda. I think because they both joined Witty Storytellers at the same time, so I kind of have them mixed up. I thought it was Brenda who was a district officer, so Fabiola is as well. So both of them. That is even more fabulous. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, so now, is there anybody who can raise their hand for LinkedIn? Because as I said, I have LinkedIn accounts. I have 3, but they're kind of fighting with each other. So I need one person who can be the lead for LinkedIn. Is there somebody who's comfortable? LinkedIn, Brian?
Oh yeah, I've been on LinkedIn longer than I've been on anything else. That's how I met a lot of the online Toastmasters.
Fabulous, fabulous. So Brian, Carol, put that on your minutes that Brian will take care of LinkedIn. And also, of course, you will continue to create the spreadsheet, Brian, or would you like to hand
No. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Among other hats, I am a webmaster and I am a database person.
That is wonderful. That's wonderful. As you can see, Brian is one of my favorite go-to people. The only thing I have to watch out is he doesn't spread himself too thin. I know that because I am that same type of person. So we need people like Carol to say, hey, wait a minute, you cannot be in 5 different places at the same time. So thank you. So LinkedIn is Brian. Does anybody here know Twitter? Again, I have a Twitter account. I don't know how to use it. Yes, Carol?
Yeah, I'll take care of Twitter.
Nice. I know there's such a thing as Instagram, and I know that it somehow works. My daughter uses it all the time, but she was a former Toastmaster. She's not a current Toastmaster. I can't lean on her. Is anybody familiar with Twitter? maybe.
Not Twitter. I have an
Uh,
Instagram account, but I'm like you. I just put pictures on it once every now and again. So I could put up the poster,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes. So yes, Jenny, at least we have somebody who has an Instagram who knows how to log into it. I have an Instagram, but I don't even know what I have put there, and it scares me sometimes. I may have put pictures that shouldn't be there.
May I suggest that
Yes, Brian.
we recruit a Toastmaster that is under 30 years of age and let them lead this promotion.
No, I usually don't say no. However, for that suggestion, I would strongly object because age is a matter of perspective, as we
No.
know, rightly.
I think Brian's only point was that nobody in this virtual room is comfortable with Instagram, whereas nobody under the age of 30 isn't using it almost continuously. I think that was his point.
I mean, I use it. I can't really see the advantage of it, but I do put some things on it, and I know people who do, and I can put things on it. So
I had this very discussion with my students the other day.
So we do have somebody who's taking care of Instagram, right? Jenny, you will put whatever flyers, posters we have, she'll put it there. So let me see. So Facebook, I take care of. I'm hoping to bring Heather in to help me, but Facebook, I live on Facebook, so I'll take care of Facebook. And Eventbrite, because I suspect nobody else might be familiar with Eventbrite. Oh, I think Mathilde maybe. But anyway, so we can partner on that. The reason why Eventbrite, I kind of need to be the lead person is because I will be feeding it directly from the whatever Facebook I have. I'll feed it. YouTube, though, we haven't had a volunteer in YouTube yet. Did we have Graham or Mathilde or?
Look, I'll be honest. I'm not an expert in YouTube, and as I've said in the chat, I'm perfectly happy to backfill, but I'd rather not take a lead role in this for a couple of reasons. But if nobody else is going to do that, then I will look at working out how to promote on YouTube.
What about asking specifically for help from David Carr? That's one of his fortes.
Good point.
Oh, yes, that's a good point, Carol. Yes, I will do that. And in fact, he had just helped me. I can't believe how quickly he did it. I was trying to figure out how to upload from Facebook Live into YouTube and thinking I would have to bypass and go in and do this and do that. And he sends me a screenshot. And I'm like, ha.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's exactly what he does. He cuts through all of the bull crap and gives you the instruction. And there's also a question from Christian that I was going to ask.
Okay.
And it's, on which common platform do you link all of these social media promotions? And will we have a website per se, or is it all coming from Facebook?
Well, I was hoping to have that, and I think Brian and I initially had been talking about that. I just don't want to overload Brian. So Brian, what are your thoughts?
Well, we because we did get a Gmail account for this event, and that opens all the Gmail possibilities that we have. So we can be supported by like the spreadsheet, all those types of things, YouTube, and we have that all under control. We also can put up a web page, which is more static than Facebook, that keeps moving, and we can put a nice web page together. And if nobody else wants to do it, I can do it. I do have the skills, but as Michelle says, I don't want to be overloaded. I want to be able to bring you to the castle on the 10th of September.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and I can help you with the Google site, Brian. So
okay.
So the web page, are we thinking? I mean, Brian, you know what else you're doing. So if you feel that yourself with maybe one other person or two people helping you on the web page would be fine. Yeah. Are you saying you want to take that on? And don't feel any pressure to say yes.
No. Well, I can be the lead, and I've got one volunteer already, so that's good.
Oh, who's that? Is that Christian?
And then the underage generation, I'm going to approach my granddaughter She is 21 years of age, and she was asking me on what she can do to help herself. And I said, Toastmasters. But now I've got a project for her
There,
that is right in line with her.
perfect. We already have achieved one new member for Toastmasters just by talking about it. We haven't even promoted it actually yet. Isn't that amazing? We'll count her as an outcome of this project, Brian. So let me see. Have we covered all the well, at least not all, but the major modalities? So we have YouTube. Did somebody say YouTube was covered? Graham, did you say you would or not?
No.
Yeah, all right, I'll take a look.
And find somebody else to be your team member.
Yeah, and I'll ask David for advice. Yes.
Oh yeah, we were going to. Yeah, sorry. See, that's why I need somebody to take notes and keep me sane. So yeah, Carol, I'm sure you put in the minutes that we will contact David. So can you put Michelle will contact David because we've already had this conversation about YouTube. And I just need to see that. Otherwise, after the meeting, that will go totally out. So we have YouTube covered. If once I contact David, and if not, then Graham will backfill for that. Facebook, myself, and Heather. If I'm sure she'll say yes. And Eventbrite. Does anybody else? I think Mathilde, you know Eventbrite as well, right? Or is there somebody else who knows Eventbrite in this group other than myself? Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it.
Okay, I'm trying to see. If not, then that's fine. I've created Eventbrite like since years ago, so that's fine. Instagram, Jenny will be posting. Twitter, did somebody say they'll take care of Twitter? Yes. Okay. I have a feeling I am missing 2 modalities, but I think that's because we are online. That's why I keep on getting this buzz in the back of my mind of Meetup and Yelp. But these 2 probably would not be of much use for us because Meetup is zone or location based, and I believe also Yelp. Is anybody familiar with Yelp? YELP. You might be surprised that Toastmasters International recommends that clubs use Yelp.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I've used Yelp to decide where I'm going to have a meal, but I've never thought of that.
Yeah, for traveling.
Exactly. And Heather posted, and she was actually ranting. She was annoyed at Toastmasters International for suggesting that Yelp be used by Toastmasters clubs. And being my curious self, I looked into it and I realized several clubs successfully use Yelp. But it's funny, huh? It's counterintuitive. And there were actually clubs that said we basically do most of our promotion on Yelp.
Christian, you need to come in and talk to us about Blue Page Pro.
Blue Page, what is that, Christian?
It's a platform that links popular social media networks. So what you're trying to do, I knew I had it somewhere. I just wanted to confirm the name. So instead of doing one post on Facebook, one post on Instagram, one post on Twitter, just put it in one place and it just sends it everywhere.
And what is this called? Blue Page?
Blue Page Pro.
Blue Page Pro. Do you know how to use it?
Well, the funny thing is, a few months back, I bought a paid account, but I never used it, so I'm trying to look it up.
Hootsuite will do something similar. But,
yeah, probably.
But if you've got a pro account with Blue Page, then
Blue Suite. Yes, Julie, are you raising your hand?
Yes, I am asking a question.
Okay,
We
go ahead.
About promoting. I would like to know what we are promoting.
Yes, I explained that.
Perhaps,
yeah.
And 1 or 2 people know, but
no,
I still don't understand
Julie.
what we are promoting.
Yes, okay, Julie, let me repeat, and we've had this conversation before. Maybe I was speaking a little bit too fast. But what we are promoting is the club's meeting in their location, meaning whatever Zoom Club Central, not Club Central, Ring Central, GoToMeeting, whatever their platform is, we are promoting that. We're promoting it based on their own time, based on their own agenda, based on. So, in other words, we are not changing how the club meets. We are having a week-long showcase. Let me finish so that I hopefully can make my point clear. We will have a week-long or 8-day showcase where, for example, on Saturday or Sunday, it will be Firebirds. On Monday, it will be Royal Roads and online presenters. On Tuesday, it will be Trans Toasters, Yakina, whatever other clubs meet on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, it will be Wednesdays. I don't think we have many clubs meeting on Wednesdays. But anyway, and so on and so forth until the end of that period. So we are not changing how the club meets. We are not creating a new event. We are simply helping to promote all these clubs for a period of 1 week or 8 days. Now, I hope I have finally made myself clear on that. And please ask me if I'm still not clear. Sometimes I think ahead of myself.
Is
So,
there any club between all those who doesn't use Zoom?
yes. I think Heather's club uses Ring Central. David Carr, I think, uses Ring Central.
Mm.
And I believe a couple of clubs still use GoToMeeting. And I think there's another club that uses, it's a corporate online platform. But it doesn't matter.
WebEx.
Yes, there you are. Thank you.
I have another question that goes along with Julie's request. Although you're saying that it's in their normal meeting times, would they be maybe massaging the agenda somewhat to fit with this whole idea of being a showcase?
It's up to them. Firebirds, I would dare say, already has it in the bag. They always have their agendas ahead. Global trainers, we would scramble. I am global trainers and Graham. We will scramble and work with our VPE to make sure that we don't embarrass ourselves. So yes, some clubs would have to work to make sure that their meetings are showcases of successful clubs, not a showcase of what not to do in a club, unless we want to be humorous and say, this meeting, we're going to show all the bloopers that can happen. So yes.
And one of the thoughts that goes along with that is that you might suggest to the clubs, or we might suggest to the clubs, ways in which that showcase appeal might have more impact. And it could be a guest presenter on a particular theme.
So Carol, am I sensing that you would be willing to put together some best practices, suggestions for the clubs that will participate?
Yeah, once I've got my head around everything that is possible for a showcase, yes, I can do that. Just a little set of steps, yeah.
Yes, fabulous, fabulous.
Especially in the facilitation part, because we're all really, really good at running meetings. But anything kind of different to that, it takes a bit of work. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. And I am a bit sad, although I know the reason why Magda couldn't make it, because Ablaze does things really nicely. They start out, yeah, Jenny, you're usually there. They're just,
Absolutely. I
yes.
love Ablaze.
Yes,
Magda
yes.
is doing an absolutely amazing job.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
And she lights a candle for people when they join as an induction. It's just, it's beautiful. It's spiritual. It's beautiful.
Oh, maybe for Ablaze, maybe that's one of the things we can reserve an induction until this.
Yeah, I'll mention that to Magda.
Yes, because it's amazing. She lights a candle and has the other person light the candle. Yes. So yeah, the great question, Carol, or great suggestion that although we're telling clubs that you don't have to change anything, we can also offer them some best practices that they might want to make sure they're taken care of. Yes, wonderful. So we now have 10 minutes, or is it 9? Yeah, we have 10 minutes before we adjourn. have we covered everything?
Just a
Yes.
question, if I can. So I would assume that the idea is that there would be one club each day that would be promoted by this showcase. Global trainers on. Well, we possibly could, but I'm just looking at it.
Brian is signaling 3. Brian is actually, his dream is to have 3. I've been telling him we will aim for that, but let's not kill ourselves if we can.
Well, I'm just looking at this. I don't have any clubs listed as being on the 9th, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any. DTM Masters meets on the 9th your time. Online online presenters is on the Monday. There is, by the way, no global trainers online during this period.
Oh.
Unless we have a special meeting.
Firebirds meets on the 9th and the 16th.
Yep. What I'm saying is that we would need to work out whether we are going to promote one club, 2 clubs, 3 clubs, and if so, how we're going to do it, and to make sure that there are no days where we're not promoting a club.
Graham, I believe I may not have been clear then if we're still saying we need to work out, because that spreadsheet that Brian has his hand up for, I think. Are you going to say that, Brian, about the spreadsheet? Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, and what we've included in there, some of the blended clubs, like I have 2 blended clubs that are coming. Michelle has a blended club that can contribute toward that. And when you start filling in the blended clubs, we have 21 meetings in a hurry, covering 24 hours a day.
Right. Exactly.
What?
Arlene?
Yeah, one other reason what would be good to cover both Sundays is because netizens and what's the one in Canada? Great White North. They meet alternate Sundays. So if you want to catch both of those, you'd have to have both those Sundays.
Okay, so somebody's been posting, I think it was Arlene posting 8 days a week. So fine, we will even have a theme song. We will have the Beatles.
I vote
I
for
think it's
that.
a great slogan. Come to Toastmasters. 8 days a
8
week.
One more
days a week. Hello.
One more thing, Michelle, on I'm not sure if you all heard about persona marketing that Toastmasters introduced earlier this year. Are you they introduced something that they did a research on, trying to target a certain sect of people. So maybe if suppose we think that yes, they said that millennials, people coming from different countries are the people that we need to target because they are coming here to to different countries to learn how to speak English. So maybe if we focus on those, if like we think millennials, then millennials, like we talked about, under 30, they are going to be on Instagram or Twitter account. They are not going to be on Facebook. So we need to focus our energy on trying to get these channels updated with information that we are marketing.
Rosalind, perhaps because you have a network in your own district, if you know somebody who's in that millennial profile whom you could tap to help you with promotion, by all means, because what we've just covered here is that Instagram is not our environment. We are not totally comfortable with that. Jenny had said she will post, but other than just posting, it's not like for me with Facebook, I can turn it around, I can do things, and people go, "What did you just do?" And I'm like, "It's here, it's there." But with Instagram, I guess nobody in this group can do that.
Yeah.
So
I just had my public relations manager create a public relations manager website. So all public relations managers across the world, across all districts, are going to be part of that. So I can have him post on that group, and say, "Hey, we are looking at something like this. Would somebody be interested in leading that effort?"
It will have to be quick because we have our timelines very, very, well, it's not super close. Cheryl Rausch used to tell me that they organize something, a big event in 2 weeks. We're not doing it in 2 weeks. We have a little bit more lead time than that. But if you want to post it there, by all means. I was also wondering if anybody else within this group has a person that they can go to. Yes, Brian?
we are proposing, Royal Roads is proposing to Royal Roads University that we actually form a club or an arm of Royal Roads specifically for their students that have not arrived at the university. They take online training for 2 years ahead of time, specifically for English as a second language.
Okay, so that's really great. How are we going to tie that in, if we are going to tie that in? Because I'm personally not seeing the immediate connection.
Oh, I can tie that in through Royal Roads' Thursday night meeting, which we can do part of the showcase.
Okay, awesome. So again, Brian and I, we've had this conversation wherein he wants to have a keynote for Royal Roads. And I said, that's perfectly fine. If that's how you want to do your meeting when guests are coming, then that's fine. But we are not going to tell each club to do certain things. We will just suggest if they want to, have certain aspects that would appeal to this target market or to another target market. That's perfectly all right. So we now have about 4 more minutes left. Is there any
Michelle,
point?
you've not yet fine-tuned your steering committee.
Oh,
You
yes,
have
thank you.
Me and you need more.
Brian. There's Brian. He's there from the start. And did I see? Yeah, Graham said he was just going to be a backfill. Was there anyone else who was willing to really be on the steering committee?
I'm going to be gone the first 2 weeks of this.
Yes, I know.
But right towards the end, I can help out, but I can't be on the committee.
Right.
So I'll be like Graham.
Right. And anybody else who...
don't know quite what I can do, but I'll be there if you want me.
And I just lost the person who was saying that. The voice was it Jenny?
Jenny.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking at Rosalind and I couldn't see if her mouth was moving, but then somebody else was talking. Okay, so
And,
wonderful. And
what about Heather? Is she going to be on the steering committee?
Well, I will, I understand Heather's timelines as well, but we communicate a lot on Messenger. So I will see if she would like to be involved as a steering committee member, or like many, as a supporter, a backfill, and all that.
Right.
The
I'll
other,
put that in as an action for you.
right. The other challenge, which I am not sure if I want to we have 2 minutes left, but I was wondering, there's one person who has a lot, or who claims to have a lot of connections with online attendance clubs. In other words, districted clubs with online attendance. And I was wondering if that name has not been brought up, but is anybody here thinking of reaching out to the chairperson of Project Infinity?
Look, I can approach Aaron. He is a friend, and I'm happy to talk to him. I'm not sure that it's going to help. I'm also not sure, by the way, how this project that you're looking at is going to be dealt with by people like Mark or Suzanne. But all we can do is be friendly.
Yes, and that will be... Thank you, Graham, because that would again be part of the mission or the vision of this project, that we reach out and we are one big global Toastmasters community, not little factions of online clubs, on-site clubs with online attendance, brick and mortar clubs, and all that. So thank you, Graham. Carol, could you put that on the note, on the minutes, please?
I also suggest Jimmy Dent.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Carol, Jim and I are constantly messaging. So does anybody else, communicate with Jimmy often? Because if not, I could be the one to contact him. But anybody else who is in frequent communication? Okay, I guess it's me. And I'm a bit, I was worried that nobody from Competitive Communicators was here, because they have quite a big club. Trisha Renzi Grow. There. Trisha Renzi Grow said she was attending. I hope she didn't get lost, but she's not here. But they would be another club that I would be pulling in, and probably have Paul be one of
She's part of Buddies as well.
Paul?
No. Trisha.
Oh, okay. Good. All the
Is
more.
anyone from what's the Toastmasters Without Borders?
There, on top of you. I mean, sorry, on my screen. Carol. Carol.
Of course, yeah, that's right. Carol's in everything, but I forgot about. I was thinking of him, but it's because Carol's.
Yeah.
And Andre Pillon was supposed to be here too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think some people were not quite used because this is not
He's
a
been
usual meeting
Blaze
time.
member as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Susan Ellsworth? Is she
I've also
involved?
invited her, and I've been watching my messenger to see if she's read it. She must be busy over the weekend. She hasn't read it yet, but I've invited her as well. I really and truly want us to have one, at least not totally happy, but at least we are all communicating instead of the factions, the silos really saddens me. I don't think we should have silos. We shouldn't have online attendance, online clubs, brick and mortar. It doesn't sound like Toastmasters. Okay, so it is now the bottom of the hour, and I so appreciate everyone being here. And I know there were several others who couldn't make it. We had requests. Oh, there, one of them requested, but he did show up. Graham.
And Michelle, do you have a date for our next meeting?
Yes, thank you so much. Don't you just love Carol? Thank you. I know we're beyond, but let's discuss this while you're still on here. It would have to be obviously. I don't think it would be realistic to think in terms of a meeting before the convention, but actually logically that's the right time to have a meeting. So yes, Brian.
Well, I suggest that we hold one next week, stagger the time so that the people in the other part of the world can join the meeting.
What do you mean by next week? That is convention week.
Next Monday, and stagger the time, like 12 hours difference or something. Instead of noon, just after 1 o'clock, say 1 o'clock, it was PM here, 1 o'clock AM here, where you and I are.
Arlene will be traveling. Rosalind will be already in Chicago. Mathilde will be traveling. So that's why I know it makes every sense to have the meeting before the convention. But you know what? Yeah, why don't we try? Why don't we try for a Monday? And how many could make a Monday, even if you're traveling?
That would be between 7 and 9 to me, whatever time that works out. But
yeah, Arlene,
I could do it as long as you send me the link. Yeah.
I'm going to be driving between Santa Fe and Denver.
Yeah, but then again, we might have other people, as Brian suggested, who didn't make it. So, well, I'm crazy anyway.
I can. Well, if you can start the meeting, Michelle, so we stick with the same meeting number. Can you do that?
Yeah. In fact, I was about to say I'm crazy anyway. So yeah, let's do a Monday.
Okay.
It won't make me any crazier.
Push it at midnight Pacific. 1 hour earlier. 11 hours later. In other words.
UTC times, please.
Yes.
UTC times.
Yay, Carol! Woo!
Okay. What is the UTC time now?
Right now it is 9:05 in
9:05.
It's
so
9:05.
Make it at
9:05 p.m. UTC.
7:00. No.
I'm showing off. Did you notice how quickly I answered that?
Yeah. Add 11 hours to or 10 hours. So 1900 UTC.
1900 UTC? That would be almost the same as already.
No, no, it's currently 2100 UTC. So you're talking 0700 UTC.
Okay. Yeah.
There. Thank you.
Okay.
So Monday 0700 UTC. You're talking. So it's Monday 17. Yeah. So Monday 0700. So that's actually earlier than this one, as in 12 hours earlier, not 12 hours later.
Okay. Well, I would suggest an 11 because for my, rather than I wait till it will be midnight for me.
So let's do it like this. I will send out a doodle poll so that we can see, a doodle poll with maybe 5 to 7 options, and then answer or check as many as you can attend. It will be playing around the Sunday, Monday of next week. And yes, even if it is going to be hard, not having that next meeting is going to really affect how well we can move forward. So, okay, thank you so much, whoever it was who suggested that we meet. And yes, we are adjourning late, but I think we've covered a lot of ground, and thank you everyone for sharing your ideas and being present and being that enthusiastic and energetic about this, and Carol especially for agreeing to take the minutes. That is so precious. Thank you so much, Carol. So we will adjourn now, and I will end the recording, and thank you again.